everybody, welcome back to another draw along. I had the idea recently, since I've been drawing lots of boxy shapes, that it might be fun to, the shape that I cut out of the box, the shape would be a letter of the alphabet. So if you are not quite sure what I'm talking about, I'll just get into the drawing. I think I'm going to use this page where I've already drawn this little character and colored them in, but I got a lot of real estate left to work with here, so I'm gonna use some of that up. I'm gonna divide the page into 3 sections, and I'll try to draw a letter, a box letter in each section, and then I'll have a little area down here in case one turns out particularly poor and I want to re-go, or perhaps maybe the next letter in the alphabet. We'll see. So we'll start with A, and I'm just gonna draw a box as we usually do. I'm not exactly sure how steep I might want the angle to be. Like, would I want to be looking at it like this a little bit more? I think I want something a little bit more that angle here. So I'm actually going to use my Rubik's Cube to help me find that angle. I'm already drawing it a little low in this area here. Actually, I want this to be longer because it is going to be a letter. This will be the height of the letter, and this will be the depth of the letter. We'll see how this goes. So this line's going at that angle, this line's going to come back at that angle, and then this line is going to be kind of parallel to this line. And then we have the corner that, well, actually, okay, this line will also be kind of parallel with this line. So we'll draw that. And then this line will be vertical. And then these 2 points will connect. And I'm gonna go one step further, and I'm not gonna draw the rear of the box over here, but I can imagine, that was off, I can imagine where it would be, but I don't think I'll need to reference it exactly. I will actually wonder if I want to make it a little bit smaller, not as tall this way. All right, we're gonna go with a slightly shorter box here. I'm gonna erase these lines that are up higher so I don't confuse myself later on. All right, cool. So we have our box here, and we're going to carve the letter A out of it. So really quickly, I'm gonna put in a little shape here. This will be the hole through the upper part of the A, and then there's gonna be a triangle down here for the other end of the A. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to really walk my process through, speak my process through as easily as I would like, because this is the first time I'm doing this, and I also am learning at the same time. So, you know what I am gonna do? I'm gonna make the top of the A rounded. There you go. So the A is actually gonna be rounded. Oh, okay. This is already kind of coming together here. Draw this line down here, and this will be a little rounded as well. This is I feel like it's taller here or deeper here than it is over here. Maybe I didn't draw that correct. And then we'll draw a line straight down from here, and a line straight down from here, and then a line straight down from this corner. And this corner, I imagine, will be about here, so this line will maybe come out there. There you go. Oh, we already got an A. And fun thing about this is I can do even another A if I wanted to, and just try to draw it a little bit differently than this one. There's kind of endless possibilities for each letter, combination of letters, anything you want. So I'm drawing the feet of the A right now, and I can already tell the proportions are off on this. This is a shorter, wider base here. This is a taller, more narrow base. Hey, we're just starting to figure this out. All right, I'm gonna try to do this in one shot here. Round it, and come back down. And then we'll get this line. And I only remembered at the last second right here to round that a little bit. I'm not squaring that off because this whole top part of the A is rounded. Do I want to keep this round? Let's not keep this round. I am going to get creative again. Draw that. And then there'll be a line down in there because this is a hole in the top of the A. And then let's keep it going, and we will shade in a portion of this A. I'm not pushing super hard with these hatch lines, but I am keeping them pretty close together. And then this face here, I'm going to color very dark because no light is getting in there. All right, I'm gonna draw some lines here. And then this triangle shape, which is kind of cool that I even recognize that as a triangle. I mean, I've mentioned before, like negative shapes. This might be an example of a negative shape. The shape of the face of the A, then this face of the A, and then this shaded area left a triangle shape here. It's just kind of neat to recognize that for that. And then, no, I'll just leave it at that for now. That's cool, I like that. Oh, you know what? I guess if I'm doing this face, that I also have to do this face of the A. So let's keep the train going. I'm gonna try to bring these lines all the way to the top and not leave a space. I think it'll look a little bit cleaner. This is a good width of line for me to draw for my skill level. If I was, say, trying to draw a line this long, it would be more wobbly and it's just more room for error. But this width of a line here is, I can keep it pretty controlled throughout the length. And it comes out looking, to me at least, a little cleaner. Nice, all right, we have our A, very first letter. And it came out great. Let's do, we're gonna do the same angle. And we'll do the letter B. Drop this line and this line. And then this line and this line. And this line, this line. And then we'll match, well no, we'll draw the vertical line here, and then where those lines cross, that'll be from point to point here. All right, now I'm starting to wish that I would have made the letter wider this way and a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna roll with it now and we'll see how it comes out, but I'm gonna try to make this letter, the letter C, a little bit flatter, maybe angled up a little bit more. It's just kind of hard to work with this shape and the details that I'm trying to cut out or carve out here. So this will be the top curve of the B, and it'll come down here and in, and then back out and round round there. Okay, and then there'll be a line here, and that'll round right at the end. And then there's a line, it's not really a line, but because it's a rounded corner, so it's not a hard line, I mean, but we'll make this rounded edge here. And then this is more of a hard line, and then rounds right at the end. Okay, so it's subtle, but I can see the B-ness in it. All right, so these lines for this edge of the opening are gonna be kind of parallel to this line here, so that it's kind of easy to follow along. And then I'm gonna put a point here, would be about the peak of the curve that I'm doing. And maybe we'll just wing this one and see how it turns out since it's a little smaller. Okay, that's fine, I like that. And the line going into the shape. then this line going down. I feel like I made this bottom here. I didn't quite get it where I wanted it. Okay, that looks a little better, and it'll show up a little bit more when we do the ink, which we're gonna head to right now. So this is a fat letter B. We'll go with it. Okay, this is, oh, I forgot to do this rounded edge here, so I'll have to just figure that out when I get to it. I'm just gonna wing it. There you go, that looks pretty good. Almost didn't do this rounded corner here, and I kind of didn't. That's all right. And then this will come up here and meet right about there. Okay. My lines are so wobbly here. This line was just really wobbly. Let's see, maybe I just, if I turn the notebook, it'll be a little bit easier. Nice. I think it reads as a B, fat as it is. We'll get some lines in there, and then I'll make this even darker. And some lines here, and this even darker. I'm drawing these as lines, kind of zigzag lines, as opposed to here I was just coloring it all in. I don't know if it's gonna make it look better or worse, just trying something different. All right, so let's imagine, oh man, what way is the light coming if I'm doing this? It's coming from this way. I don't know, I'm not good at that. I'm just gonna color in this side of the B here. I think I'm messing this up a little bit. It should be at least as dark as this, I think. We're really staying loose over here. Not giving this too much thought at all. This is coming out a little better so far. Oops, now I'm getting wobbly. Anyway, there's a B. Ooh, all right, the B was a little harder than the A. I think because it's got some curved edges to it, which is going to make the C I'm about to draw even more challenging. I'm gonna try to angle this a little differently and draw it more, not as wide. Okay, I think I'm getting that. All right, so the C is gonna come up. Let me draw a little letter C in here. Okay, so I'm not even going to try to describe what I'm doing right now. This is the bottom part of the C. That's all I can tell you. And okay, gonna leave that there. And then I'm going to draw the top part of this. Oh, this is going to be tough. In the top part, I'm going to see more of this plane. Okay. Here, I think I'm going to go outside of my box line a little bit. Okay, we're going to leave that there. And then this. Oh. And then that will come down. I'm seeing this in my head, even though I can't as easily verbalize what I'm doing step by step, but I'm seeing a C in my head, and I'm trying to get as close as I can to having the proportions be correct, and looking at it from the angle I'm imagining looking at it from. And I think it reads as a C. even though it's not like, at this point, it's not like I'm gonna be, we're keeping these shapes like really simple and crude, if you will. So, but I think you'll see it more clearly when I start penning it in like I am now. Okay. I'm going a little off of my pencil line. Starting to see? Looks like you're starting to see what I'm seeing here? All right, and this would come up and around here. Yeah, that's a C. I didn't get all my lines matching up very nice. I think at some point I realized, hey, this is gonna be challenging. Let me aim for perfection even less than I typically do, and just see if I can create something that reads like I want it to read. And these letters are, I think if anybody looked at these letters, they would know what they were. There wouldn't be any confusion about it. I think that's what I need to do there. And this would actually be all dark too, I think. Okay, whatever. And there we go. A, B, C. And you know what? Since this has been working out pretty well, I'm gonna try to draw a D up here, and we're gonna go at a completely different angle to this one. So, or for this one. No, you know what? It's gotta be taller. Or not taller, but just more up in this corner, the way I'm thinking about it. Ooh, I'm gonna go off the page a little bit there. Maybe I can just have that sort of be the edge of the D at the bottom. All right, so D, this will be about where the center of the D will be. And basically we're rounding these corners here, the top corner, and then the bottom corner. And then they come to a point over here. And then this will come down. All right, it's not the best D in the world, but oh my gosh, that line's all over the place. My knuckle of my little finger ran over the seam in the book here, so that is a wobbly line. All right, I'm gonna start from the bottom this time. Okay, it's hard to do the curved lines, especially without taking the pen off the paper. Seems especially difficult. Maybe I should get better at joining lines together from different directions, or just get better at keeping the pen on the page the whole time. All right, we're gonna draw the lines up this way, which is different lighting conditions from the other letters, but that's fine. This isn't a study on light and shadow here. Bam. A, B, C, and D. We did it. You know what? This is actually bothering me. This needs to be dark. I kept looking at the C, thinking there's something here that I missed. Not quite sure what it is, and right as we were about to wrap up, it dawned on me. Shapes are a little wonky, but we got 4 of them, and I think I know what they are. When I look at them, I know that somebody would recognize them as the letters they are, and that's fantastic. Oh my gosh, now I just noticed this. I think this one should be dark. Maybe once these shapes become second nature to me, I will start learning how to shade them and make them look super cool. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.